Morning, students.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So let us start the session. Last class we have discussed the very basic concepts of extension and why extension is important to us and how it is relevant to our field, agriculture, right? Because we all have been following the BSc Agriculture degree. It's a science-based degree. But even whatever the subject you start in the beginning, you should ask a question, how this subject is relevant to me? How it is important to me? In what sense it is important for us to use this? Something like that. Yeah? So basically extension, I told you, it is the concept which is being used for in different disciplines, right? We have medical extension, engineering extension, we have community medicine extension, marketing extension, business extension. Everywhere you could see the extension principles, right? Extension is being applied. But in our context, being an agriculture graduate, we should know how the extension is related to us, how it is relevant to us, right? And what are the importance of extension and why do we want to study this extension, right? So the primary aim of extension is, of course, primary aim of studying all these science and technology. Why do we study the science? Why do we study this agriculture? A simple question, maybe you can say, I just want to earn money. Okay, that is a very peripheral and immediate need. But the basic requirement of your learning, basic requirement of your education is to make the society get benefited out of it, is to improve the welfare of the society. Why do we study? Because improve the welfare of the society, improve the welfare of the individuals, right? So your welfare will be also improved, and the societies as a whole, the individuals, the many individual benefits also will be improved, right? So that is the basic objective of an education, right? So likewise, extension is a process, is a task which makes the way to flow the education to the point where it is needed, right? Now water is flowing from the point of higher altitude to low altitude, right? So likewise, water is flowing, right? You know the pipe water, we have a tank and water is flowing. So likewise, we also have a something to get flow, right? From one point to the other, right? So that is the main motive of extension. So whatever you study in your degree or the education should benefit the society, should improve the welfare of the people as a whole, and also it should improve the benefit of the individuals as well, right? You can earn money, you can get a salary through your employment. But what is your employment? Because it should benefit the society. Otherwise, no point of learning all these things. What is the purpose of spending all these money, the free education? Government has been spending the taxpayers' money. So what is the purpose? That is, of course, to improve the knowledge of the people, you say. So what is the aim? What is the purpose of improving the knowledge? That means our welfare, the Sri Lankan society's welfare, Sri Lankan individuals' welfare should improve. So how the welfare can be improved? That is knowledge flow, right? Your knowledge has to flow from one point to the other, right? So you have to understand that very clearly, that knowledge should benefit the society, right? That should benefit the society. So that is the basic aim of target of this education. So how we can accomplish that? How we can do that? How we can make the society to get benefit out of it? You know, we have a tank, overhead tank is here, right? And you have a tank here. It is a water tank, right? It is a water tank. You have a, it is built here, right? Or you can say it is something like this. You might have seen a water tank built. Okay. So here you have a pipeline, right? It comes and flows. It supplies water to the low elevations, right? And water is flowing from here, right? Water. So here you have a water here. It's a higher altitude. So the same principle, you have a technology, science and education, all these intellectual stuff is here. And there are places where people are in need of that. They need all the benefit of this. What is the purpose of education? To make the societies to get benefited. Society should benefit. And individuals also in turn, they will get benefited, right? So it is a knowledge flow from one point to the other. And always you can see there is a gap, because here you have a water in a high altitude, in a high elevation. Here you need a water to drink, right? So what is happening? Water is flowing from a high altitude to low altitude, or from a high elevation to low elevation. Likewise, knowledge flow, it is necessary to benefit the particular people, those who need it, right? Water, වතුරු මෙහෙම එනකොට වතුරු පිපාස වෙන කට්ටියට අපිට වතුරු බොන්න ඕන. මෙතන වතුරු මේ පයිප් වලින් එනවා අපිට. எங்களுக்கு தண்ணி உடாய்க்க தண்ணி வந்து இந்த பைப்பால வருது. ஸோ අපිට වතුරු ඕන. මෙතන ඉන්න මිනිස්සුන්ට වතුරු ඕන බොන්න. මෙතන වතුරු තියෙනවා ගොඩක්. இங்க தண்ணி இருக்குது, இங்க தண்ணி இல்லை. එතකොට පයිප් වලින් අපි වතුරු ගේනවා, right? அதனால பைப் වල நாங்க போடு. The same principle we can do for the we can apply to the extension, right? So you can see that is it is a gap. It is a gap. That is knowledge gap, right? So current knowledge and the target knowledge here, you have a set of people here. And here you have laboratories, scientists, technology, technical hands are there, machineries are there, knowledge is there, and so many things are here. But here, this side, as far as agriculture extension is concerned, here we have farmland, farmers, right? And farmland, farms, right? Farmers, farms, right? And here and this side you have scientists, and of course you have technology, research, and laboratory, and of course you have trial plots, research stations, no institutes, right? Institutes, all are this side, right? But this side you have a farmer, right? Farmer, farmland, those things are here. So here you have a set of people, and here you have a set of people, and there is, you can see there is a necessary, there is a need here. That is the need I told you. තண்ணි උඩයි කේක நாங்கள் තண்ணි කුடிக்கிறோம். අපිට වතුරු පිපාස වෙනකොට අපිට ඕන වතුරු බොන්න. වතුරු අපිට ඕන. We have a need. Right? So here also we have a need. What kind of need? We need some technicality. We need some knowledge. So there is a gap being found between these, right? But originally, always remember, extension, people may say extension start from here. Extension always begin from this point to this point, right? It is wrong. Extension always start from this point, where land, because here only අපි මෙතන ඉනකොට තමයි අපි කියනවා අපිට වතුර ඕන බොන්න බොන වතුර අපිට ඕන எங்களுக்கு குடிக்கிற தண்ணி வேணும்னு நாங்க சொல்றோம். அப்ப always the pipeline, pipeline should be directed to those people, right? නැත්තම් අපිට දන්න කාට මේක වතුර දෙන්න ඕන කියලා ආන කට්ටියට තමයි අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? கேக்குறவைக்கு யாருக்கு தண்ணி உடைக்குதுன்னு எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. யாருக்கு தண்ணி தேவைன்னு தெரிஞ்சால்தான் நாங்கள் அந்த பக்கம் பைப்பை டிரெக்ட் பண்ணலாம் தண்ணி இருக்கிற இடத்துல இருந்து, right? So you all have to understand, extension always starts from farmers' field, farms, right? There only the need will arise, right? They are the problems. They have problems. They have challenges, right? They have problems, they have challenges, right? And that problems and challenges and constraints, they have constraints, right? Constraints. What are the constraints? But can you able to say the example for challenges in the farmer side? Tell me some example, the challenges. Hello, students.
Yes, sir. Not get fertilizer.
That is problem. Or you can say constraints. Challenges, it is a knowledge challenge. Some farmers, farms located adjacent. මෙතන farm එකක් තියෙනවා, මෙතන farm එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉදිරිය ஒரு farm இருக்கு, ඉදිරිය ஒரு farm இருக்கு. But this farmer, F1, F2, this farmer is doing well, but this farmer is not doing well. But both are having the same land adjoining together, right? Both are located in the same village, same locality, but this farmer is more capable. He is a very clever farmer, right? But this farmer is not that clever, right? He is not that clever, but this farmer is clever. How? That is knowledge, right? Knowledge difference. He has some experience and he has some knowledge about farming, and he may lack that. The second thing, that challenge, of course, lack of knowledge. That's the second thing, the climatic factor. Climate and weather, right? Weather. Climate and weather are very challenging. Whatever you may be clever, you may be capable of doing a very good farming, but what is happening? This time Gangwatru, next time Godak Pavanam, Chilaneram Chariana Villamare, Chilaneram Charia Kanj, Ella Kanji, Varachi. So how are you going to overcome that? That is, we have challenges, right? So when you say that they are experiencing climate and weather, weather condition. These are two challenges, right? Climate condition and weather conditions are challenging. So then these farmers will say, "Oh, we are experiencing problem with this climate and the weather. It is very offensive climate. This time we had a flood and we had a drought. So this information will be transferred to here. What do you think? Whether these people can find a solution to this challenge? This challenge will be transferred from this point to this point. Do you think that these people who are here, researchers, technical officers, and laboratories and technology and research institute and all these things are here? Do you think that the people here or the knowledge here will be able to find a solution for this challenge? What is your answer? Students, please be interactive. Then only I know that you all are listening and following the lectures. If the session is not interactive, then it is very embarrassing, disappointing and embarrassing. And I don't know how far you have understood. These are very simple and straightforward questions. So answer me. Now, for instance, for challenges in the land or farmer side, in the farm side, farmers are facing very offensive climate and weather conditions. So they are saying, "Oh, apita hari amaru meka me sareo gang waturu giya sareo godak pauna waturu neti wela hitiya me sare waturu godak tibuna apita epa wenawa ukkama all are being destroyed. உங்களுக்கு தேவையான தண்ணி போன முறை இருக்கல எல்லாம் வறட்சியில காஞ்சி போட்டு இந்த முறை ஒரே வெள்ளமா இருக்குது, சீண்டு போச்சுது." So then they will convey this message to this side. So what do you think, whether these side people will be able to find a solution to this challenge? Friends? Yeah. What do you think? Because I told you extension always start from this point, right? From here, from the farmer side, from the farm side, from the land side to here, not from here to here. Mostly people think always as though we are richer people, we are giving money to the poor people. Salli ina minisu dupat minisuta salli dena wage kaasira karan kaasillana kaasu udukura madri. Always we give knowledge to the farmer. That is not necessary. Farmer is much more experienced and knowledgeable than us, right? Don't underestimate the farmers. They are I would say, because some are beyond our control, we can't control. But still, there are varieties. You will study varieties, rice varieties. Example, rice varieties. Some rice varieties are drought resistance. Drought resistance. Some rice varieties are salinity tolerance. Some can be grown some rice variety can be grown in submersive. All rices can be grown in a submersive conditions, but some rice can be grown in the inundated condition. Inundated conditions. What do you mean by inundated conditions? Means ගංවතුර තිබුණත් කමක් නැහැ ඕගලට වවා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මழை வெள்ளம் இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்லை அரிசியை வளர்க்கலாம். The Chinese are doing that. And already in Sri Lanka we have these drought tolerant resistant varieties, drought resistant varieties and salinity tolerant varieties. Salinity means disease during the ගොඩක් පැවෙනකොට කූඩා කාංචි වරட்சி වාර නීරම් your soil will become in some coastal closer to the coastal lines. The soil will become more saline, right? Salty. Then there are paddy varieties. Ambalantota 80. Ambalantota varieties are there. Batalagoda varieties are there. BG. They are some drought resistant, salinity tolerant. Some of course, some can be grown in inundated conditions. You know, Chinese are growing rice in the coastal area. See, right? See the technology. So the farmers are struggling because of a climatic condition. Then the scientists here are thinking, oh, these මිනිස්සු අඩේ ගොඩක් මහන්සි වෙනවා, ගොඩක් අමාරු වෙනවා. Then we have to අපි කොහොම හරි මේකට solution එකක් we have to find, right? இவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்படுது இந்த farmers, இவ்வளவு பிரச்சனையை எதிர்கொள்ளையில we have to find a solution. நாங்கள் இதுக்கு ஒரு பிரச்சனையை ஒரு தீர்வு காண வேண்டும். So thinking like that, in the laboratories, they have developed all these varieties. And not only in the rice, there are drought-resistant varieties in the vegetables, hybrid varieties. You know, there are varieties. There are some pest-resistant varieties. You know, the Solanum malignum, that is, what is Solanum malignum? What is Solanum malignum? Brinjal, right. Good. Okay, so you have a brinjal, and a brinjal, of course, having a pavenaka. ඔක්කොටම දන්නවා මේ ෆාම ගොවියට එපා වෙනවා මේ බ්‍රින්ජෝල් වලට පෙස්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. It is burnaமண்டு போயிடும் இந்த brinjal ஒரு பெஸ்ட் ஒன்று இருக்குது. That is known as how do you call that? Is known as shoot and fruit borer, right? That is shoot and fruit borer. You have seen it in the market. There are holes, right? There are holes, right? That is shoot and fruit borer. It's a kind of a caterpillar that comes in a way, right? Right. So this is a pest. Now we have tomato, the brinjal variety, which is resistant to this shoot and fruit borer. Shoot and fruit borer. So this is a pest. So now we have a pest resistant variety. So when you are writing for the exam, you have to write all these examples to make your answer more interesting, right? So they have developed pest resistant varieties. So that plant may withstand for some extent to this variety, right? Then Indian Murunga, these Samanaleta Kamatine, Vanati Puchielke, Indian Murunga சாப்பிடுறதுக்கு விருப்பம் இல்லை. It is not tasty, but the traditional moringa is much tastier. So you can see moringa full of caterpillars. They will come and lay the eggs and then caterpillars, then finally you will get the butterfly. You know the cycle. So that Indian moringa is resistant to the caterpillar moth. Right? So these moringa caterpillar. Right? Likewise, there are transport resistant, right? There are transport. How? You know that in Sri Lanka we were having a very nice tomato earlier, right? It is something like this. Old Dana Terimo Riele, a bit Matanan Daname. Mevage Takali Gatibun or Prior Takali under Sri Ilangele Ilinda. Apega Tibun. Harima Ratu, Hari Rasa. Ambul Mevage Katina. But this is transport, it will get damaged. Make a transport right? So because of this traditional variety, they introduced a variety called Roma. Right? That is thick flesh. It is something like this. Shape is like this, and if you cut that and see, it is a thick flesh. It was having a thick flesh. Right? But if you cut this one, how it will appear? Look like this will look like something like this. A very thin layer. Right, very thin layer. That is why it get damaged. Right, it has a very thin layer. See, it's a very thin layer. But here you have a very thick layer of. So this is you can transport this. Right. This is Roma, thick flesh. So it will prevent the transport damage. So farmers might have complained, we are finding difficult to transport this tomato, though it is very tasty and delicious, you know. But the Roma is not that delicious. But still it has an economic importance because it has a thick flesh. So the problems are always originally found here, and the farmers faces the challenges of climate, weather condition, pest and diseases, and fertilizer and finance conditions. Suppose if farmer is finding difficult to get the money for his cultivation, he need money for the cultivation. Then he may say, okay, we are finding difficult apita goda kamaru winno apita salli mudal hoyaganda salli ne mekata me karanda kiya. Idu engalukku seriyana customerku kaas illamal the vyavasayathe cheyra. Then the message will be transferred to here. And they will sit together and discuss how we can support this farmer. And the policy maker make a decision, and they will give some recommendations to the government. Then government instruct all the banks to give credit, banks to give loan. Loan means for agriculture loan. Agriculture loan. That is for very low interest. Interest means poly, batti. Right? Aduma poly ite make olta denawa salli, me goviyarta denawa salli, make egalolta modala hammenawa. Then they can do the cultivation. Sariyana kuranja vatti vidathukku government cheyudu. So how the problem is being transformed here? Farmers are finding difficult to get the money. They need money to buy seeds, buy fertilizer, to employ the labor to buy the fuel for irrigation, to hire a vehicle for plowing and harvesting, combine harvester and all that. So they need money for all the things, right? Not only that, they need money to run the family as well, because once they harvest only, they will get the money. Until the harvesting, they don't have enough money to survive. So that problem, so not only, don't think that only the extension deal with the technology and the science. It deals all kind of problems what farmer faces, what agriculture faces. So whatever the problem, it comes here and it will be resolved, and they will find a solution, and then that solution will be proposed back to the field. So these economists and scientists will sit together and they will be thinking, මේකට ගොඩක් අමාරුව තියෙනවා, අපි මොනවද කරමුද? එහෙම හිතනවා, right? ඉතින් විශේෂ කස්ටමර් இருக்குது කාසි ඉල්ලන්න අපි නම් එන්න කියලා. So people will be thinking like that here, and they will be sitting here and thinking, and that at the end they will find a solution to that. Then that proposal will be transferred, informed to the government, and government will inform that to the bank, because always a successful government listen to the scientists and the educated people and the people who have a discriminating thought always, because the government is, of course, you can't expect the government to have all these knowledges, because they are just running they are administrators, they are just running the country. You can't expect because the government people may not be educated and may not be having adequate knowledge in all the field. They are not experts. So they are the successful government, successful nation always listen to their R&D decisions, right? Research and the technical hands and the scientists and the experts will tell the government, advise the government, okay, you do this, you do this, you do that. So government always listen to them, because government is being appointed by the people to run the country very successfully. So government then inform that information to the bank and commercial banks. Commercial banks means all the banks. Not commercial. We have a commercial bank also, a private bank. I'm not mentioning about that. I'm talking about National Savings Bank, Commercial Bank, Kagels Bank, Bank of Sloan. All the banks are giving agriculture loan. It's a must. It's a government policy. They say that a certain percentage of loan all banks should give to agriculture, because agriculture is important. And particularly after this COVID, everyone has realized the importance of agriculture and medicine, because they are basic needs of the people, right? So then they will give a special loan to the farmers at a lower interest rate. Then now farmers are happy, because they have access to the money. Earlier they are unable to get the money. If they want to get the money, ගමේ ඉන්නවා කට්ටිය වැඩි පොලිට තමයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. ගමේ ඉන්න මිනිස්සු පොලිට දෙන කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා, ඒගොල්ලන් ගාව ගියත් හරි වැඩ ඉවරයි. சரி, ஊர்ல வட்டிக்கு கொடுக்குறாக்கள்கிட்ட போனா சரி அதோட கதை அவங்க வந்து சரியான வட்டி கூட. So in order to safeguard the farmers from that, government introduced a policy. So earlier the problem was expressed by the farmers, and that will be transferred to here, and then the solution will be sent to the farmers, right? So always remember, extension starts from this end, right? Okay, so we will go to these slides, next slides, and see. It is not, slide is not responding. Why is that? I will Let us give me a minute. I will. I don't know why. What is happening here? Okay. Okay, now. This knowledge, K means knowledge, and I will come to that later. Now, don't get confused. That I will come to that later. It's okay. So. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Concept and meaning of extension. I'm not going to spend the time on that. I will say at the end of the day, I will be sending this sharing. I'll share these slides with you, so you can go through this. This is a kind of a definition, right? Definition by different people, so you can go through it and understand, I hope. And concept and meaning of extension continues by how the different people have defined in a different way, right? And extension is also defined as information and communication process. These are extract from different books, right? Extension is a process of provide useful and relevant information to influence change in caps of rural people to these things, right? So you will then, okay, common features in the definition. So whatever, now we have seen, you have seen many definitions, and you have seen the definitions. Yeah, and now you could see I extracted some common features, right? I extracted some common features from the definitions what you have seen. Extension is here you can say extension is out of school education process. So you have to say extension is out of school education process. So what do you mean by out of school education process? Because most of the farmers are, you know, that they are grown up people, right? So they are no more going to school, and they have low level of education. In some instances, even the degree holders, even the PhD holders are also having the farm. There are few instances that is also happening. But most of them, but whoever it is, they are all out of school, right? Most of them are already finished their formal education. So school education. So whatever you discuss with them, whatever the technology you take them, it is not the formal education. You have to understand. Formal education means year 1, year 2, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, you are studying in the school. That is known as formal education. So once you have finished your school, and when you are learning something other than the school method, that is informal education, we say, right? So some say non-formal education, some say informal education, whatever it is. Extension is out of school education process. It is not the school education process. It's a out of school education process, right? So you have to understand that very clearly, right? Okay. So hope you can Understand. The second point, extension employ the tools and techniques of information and communication. So now I'm lecturing to you. Because of COVID, you all are at your home. ගෙදර ඉඳලා තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන් ඉගෙන ගන්න. මම මෙහි වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්නවා. මගේ ගෙදර මගේ අපේ ෆැකල්ටි ඉන්නවා මම. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ගෙදර ඉන්නවා. අපි දැන් how we are communicating, நீங்கள் உங்களோட விட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க, நான் ஃபேக்கல்ட்டியில இருக்கேன், நாங்கள் communicate பண்றோம். How are we communicating? We are employing some tools. We employ some tools. What kind of tools? Zoom. We are employing computer, the digital technology, right? And using that technique, the information is being communicated. Now I am communicating with you, right? I'm talking to you, I'm lecturing to you, and you guys have been receiving, right? So extension also same way. So when you want to communicate with the farmers, or farmers want to communicate with the researchers and scientists, it's a communication process, right? You should be capable enough to communicate well. අපිට කියන කරදර මොනවද කියලා, අපිට මොනවද අඩුපාඩුව තියෙනවා කියලා අපිට හරියට කියන්න පුළුවන්. අපි හරියට කිව්වොත් තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනවා අපිට මොනවද අමාරු තියෙනවා කියලා. එங்கள்ட்ட இருக்கிற பிரச்சனைகளை அடிப்படையான கரைச்சல்களை சரியான முறையில நாங்கள் சொல்லக்கூடியமா இருந்தால்தான் அந்த மற்ற பகுதிக்கு தெரியும் உங்களுக்கு என்ன பிரச்சனை இருக்கு. අපිට මොනවද අමාරුව තියෙනවා කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට හරියට දන්නවා තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට they can find a solution for that. அவங்களுக்கு சரியா அந்த பிரச்சனை விளங்கினா தான் they will be able to find a solution for you, right? For all these, then after finding the solution, right, අමාරුවට මොන හරි මේම කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනවා නම් ආයෙත් ඒකත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට කියලා දෙන්න ඕන හරි විදියට. මේ ගෝයියන්ට හරි විදියට කියලා දෙන්න ඕන. මේම කරුවොත් ඕගොල්ලන්ට හරි. දැන් සල්ලි නැත්නම් බැංකුවට ගිහිල්ලා ලෝන් එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. පොඩි අඩු පොලියට ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අපි මේක ඔක්කොම කරලා තියෙනවා ඕගොල්ලන්ට. මේ ෆර්ටිලයිසර් මේ ඩ්‍රවුට් තියෙනවා නම් දැන් ඩ්‍රවුට් රෙසිස්ටන්ට් වෙරයිටි එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක කරලා බලන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ට හොඳයි. right? ட்ரவுட் ரெசிஸ்டன்ட் வெரைட்டி ஒன்று ரிலீஸ் பண்ணி இருக்கிறோம். நீங்க அதை பாவிச்சு பாருங்க. உங்களுக்கு கூட வெயில இருந்தா காசு இல்லைன்னு சொன்னா நாங்கள் எல்லாம் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணி இப்ப அரசாங்கத்தோட கழிச்சு பேங்க்ல உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணி இருக்கிறோம். குறைஞ்ச வட்டி வீதத்துக்கு லோன் எடுக்கிறது. So all these information reciprocally to and fro that I told you that from one point to the other, right? You have to understand that also. So that was discussed in here. We have a point, right? We have a point here, and here also we have a point, right? So we are here and here. So the information is being transferred. The problems are being transferred from here, and the solutions are being transferred from here to here, right? These are solution. This is problem and challenges. So this is a reciprocal process, right? So extension is a reciprocal process. You have to understand information is flowing from this side to this side, and then the solutions are flowing from this side. All these happening because of communication, right? So you have to understand the word communication. It is very important. So you have to be a very good communicator, right? So when you go to the field, who is going to communicate between these two people? Here farmers are here. Here the research officers, technical officers, technologists, the scientists are here. The farmers are here. Someone have to get the information. Someone have to bring the information. Like a postman, right? Someone have to take the information from this side and someone have to carry the information from this side. Who is doing that?
Extension officer.
Good, very good. That is known as extension officer. So he is the one taking the responsibility. Extension officer. and he should have a special character of extension officer should understand their problem, and extension officer should be capable enough to understand the science and technology also. So basically extension officer should be a very capable person, right? He should have the science background. He must be an educated person. But he, in the meantime, he is very humble also. And so since you know the words, technical words, you know that lives in orders organalis. That is the name for the shoot and fruit borer in the field. And you know that Solana Molangina is the name for the brinjal. So if you go and speak to the farmer, Ogla Solana Molangina Vavaganavada, ඔවල්ට මොනහරි අමාරු ලියුසිනෝඩස් ඕබනැලිස් ඒක අමාරු තියෙනවාද කියලා ඇහුවොත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට කිසිම දෙයක් තේරෙන්නේ කාටවත් ඒක තේරෙන්නේ நீங்க ஃபார்மர்ஸ் இந்த ஃபீல்டுக்கு போய் நீங்க சொலானா முளைஞ்சினம் வளர்க்குறீங்களோ உங்களுக்கு லியூசினோடஸ் ஓபனலிஸால ஏதாவது ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்கான்னு கேட்டீங்கன்னு சொன்னால் அவங்க நினைப்பாங்க நீங்க லூசண்ட் தெரியல ஃபார்மர்ஸ் හිතනවා ඕගලන්ට පිස්සු කියන මෙයා මොනවද කතා කරන්නේ අපිට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ මොකද කියලා හරි you have to speak the way, the language, colloquial way, in order to understand the farmer. Farmer has to understand you and he has to trust you. And you have to understand what is farmer saying. Then that message has to be conveyed here. And then of course, farmers may say, there's a Satun will make a kanawa apitanan danne. If you go and tell that information, Puchi on the Gadikidam, in the Soli Poichonal, science people, they eagle the theorem what is happening. Right? So, eagle theorem with the attack on. Scientists Mulanga Kudia with it, with the Moralum Ning a high cavanum, farmers Mulanga Kudia Moralum, farmers ordering a high economy. So, you should be capable, you should have an extension officer, should have a both dimension, right? Science background, science dimension, as well as a very polite and humble dimension to deal with the farmer, right? So you should be capable enough to dealing both people because you are the errand boy carrying the message from this side, from this side. So that is reciprocally happening, right? So you are carrying message from this side and you are carrying message from this side to this side, right? So then you have to be very careful of that. So communication, so information and communication technique are very important as far as extension is concerned, right? So extension desire to increase the knowledge base, influencing attitude and improve the skill of the rural people. So extension always, when you teach the people, it will increase the knowledge and influence the attitude and improve the skills of the rural people, right? So I think we are approaching the time of finishing this class. I think coming Friday, I will send you the new link to the representative. Who is the representative? Yeah, please. I might have misplaced your email address. Please send your email addresses to send you the link for the Fridays. Last time I have sent you only for the Tuesdays, I believe. Am I right? Yeah, so I will send you the link to the Friday. Fridays also we are having a class, so I will continue in Friday, right? So with that, I'm concluding today's lectures, and hopefully you are having other lectures as well, right? Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye.